Kamala Harris, wait, did I say Nikki Harris? Nikki Haley, but then again, it's an understandable mistake. After all, a friend deep in the political game recently pointed out that Nikki Haley is the Kamala Harris of the Republican Party. And now Nikki says that she wants to be the president, announcing her doomed candidacy with hilariously hackneyed nervous excitement and anxious, very phony fanfare. Quote, "Now is the time for a strong and proud America." Though everyone with half a political brain cell can see that she's really just trying to jockey or position herself as the vice presidential nominee when either Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis gets the nomination. It's exactly the kind of cynical, shameless move this cynical, shameless striver would make, and that her Democrat doppelganger did make. Like Kamala, Nikki is everything wrong with her party. Kamala is Hillary light, slightly less bitter, a lot dumber, but just as insincere at the end of the day. Nikki is Jeb Bush. She's Jeb in a skirt, temperamentally establishment and soft, but much more ambitious and cunning than the human puffball who begged us to please clap as he awaited what he expected would be a coronation. Vapid, overrated, and very unaccomplished despite all of her wonderful credentials. Nikki Haley is the Peter Principle personified, a tiresome, empty pantsuit whose pure and shameless ambition compensates for her lack of, talent. Both she and Kamala want to be president, and an America dumb enough to allow either one to do so deserves the pain that will inevitably follow. Yeah, I guess I might vote for her in the general if the GOP is frankly stupid enough to nominate her, but observing that her moderate fecklessness is marginally better than whatever chump the communists throw at us, it really is damnation with just a little faint praise, isn't it? But all in all, she really is just our Kamala Harris with a different party label. Oh, and no Montel Williams baggage, of course. There was a time when Kamala was looked upon as a fearsome up-and-comer, a bright new talent from way out west who could unite different parts of the Democrat Party behind her. Of course, that was a long time ago. She was the Attorney General in California, and she was awful. But luckily for Kamala, the objective consideration of a Democrat's job performance is, it's no longer a thing anymore. Lucky for good old Pete Buttigieg, too, because he's an utterly untalented hack who has screwed up every single thing he's touched. Just go to Ohio and take a deep breath and you'll understand. Yet he's still counted as a first-ranked potential nominee and Kamala's main competitor. Anyways, Kamala inherited a Senate seat and simply showed up for a few years, voted for the approved nonsense throughout, and then ran for president. It was really only then that the full extent of her mediocrity became very well known. She floundered, saved by Joe Biden, a man of legendary mediocrity, who knows something about the utility of having a half-wit as one's vice president. If nothing else, Kamala is a reliable vote for whatever is in fashion in her party at the moment. When Democrats were pretending to be tough on crime, she locked up potheads, and I mean a lot of them. And when crime became cool again, she was there helping bail out thugs, junkies, and looters. She is like a parody of a Democrat, but with uncomfortably weird enthusiasm about yellow school buses. Except no one in her own party likes her. No one wants her, yet there she is in the White House, scheming and plotting, ready to toss aside anyone who gets ahead of her on the ladder. I know that if I was Joe Biden, our lovely drooler-in-chief, and she sent me a plate of home-baked chocolate chip cookies, I would definitely dump them out the window on the way home to Delaware. Anyways, Nikki Haley was the governor of South Carolina, where she distinguished herself by surrendering to the mob on the state's flag. It's not that the rebel flag is anything wonderful in my eyes. It was her sanctimonious acceptance of the whole narrative behind the phony outrage that exposed her inner-establishment conformist backbone. She, of course, also bought into the ridiculous Bubba Wallace noose nonsense, because of course she did. She cares what the establishment thinks. You see, She cares what the regime media thinks. And most importantly, folks, she cares what her consultants think. And this probably goes without saying, but I want to get it out there before the mayhem and the primaries begin. She thinks what you and I, the conservative base, think is scary and frightening. But she'll pretend to be down for the cause and do whatever it takes to win. So yes, if you really want to know what Nikki Haley will do, you need but put a wet finger to the breeze and thereby know which way she will go. Because folks, she is a human windsock, a consultant-driven, conventional wisdom advocate who spews tired, quote, "let's build bridges to a better tomorrow" type from circa, 2005-ish. Doesn't she always seem on the verge of demanding that you conservative ruffians keep it down and let us adults talk? Even when she is right, which is simply because she cloaks herself in conservatism, you get the idea her heart isn't really in it. She was an adequate UN ambassador, primarily because she usually just said no to the commies and third world potentates. As such, she met our minimal standard, yet what apple cart did she overturn? The Krauts are still moaning about Rick Grinnell's tenure as ambassador to Deutschland. But does anyone remember anything Nikki did except suck up to Donald Trump? And suck up she did, oh my goodness, until he stopped being useful. Trump is now dropping rumors that she begged him to ditch Mike Pence and put her on the 2020 ticket. I don't know if that's true, but boy, it sure feels true. Now doesn't it? I mean, who can't see her wheedling and coddling the president to dump his loyal second and give her the gig? And who is shocked that her promise not to run against Trump got kicked to the curb when it became inconvenient? Hey, if she had to do it to save the country, okay, but Nikki is not going to save anything. She's another of the GOP decline managers from the 2000s that we thought we had gotten rid of by now. Despite the fact that the base wants nothing to do with her based on her lack of basedness. Like I did that there. There are idiots on the left and alleged conservative ones who attack her name and heritage, and these people should be shunned. Number one, for being classless and stupid, and number two, for making me defend Nikki Haley. She has been laying the groundwork for this campaign for quite a while now. She started one of those PACs with a name like the Forum for Eagles, Families, America, and More Eagles, that pounds conservative seniors for donations using pleas like, "Help Nikki save America from the threat of badness" or something. Her Twitter feed is a litany of tiresome basic declarations along the lines of, "We need to empower people to realize their dreams," or "I like America and I don't care who that offends." And of course, now is not the time to hold back. Now is the time for a strong and proud America, including fist emoji and flag emoji. The last one is astonishingly and embarrassingly real. Her pre-announcement video is just absolutely hilarious in how basic it is. It's like she got a bunch of consultants who tried to program her with hardcore American firstism and ended up with her vomiting out the same kind of painfully awkward, phony toughness of Mitt Romney, insisting he's severely conservative. It's an act so phony it would be cringe if it wasn't so damn funny. If elected, she'll sell us out to the Jeb Bush wing faster than you can say, "We should all reach across the aisle to grasp a better tomorrow." And she would totally say something like, "We should all reach across the aisle to grasp a better tomorrow." But hey, you have to give Nikki some credit compared to Kamala. At least Nikki's consultants can cobble together coherent hack cliches, while Kamala's make absolutely no sense at all. The big problem with Nikki Haley for the Republicans is the same as the big problem with Kamala Harris for the Democrats. They are both overambitious mediocrities who believe in nothing except the fierce urgency of their own advancement. And the bases of both parties, they know it. Kamala is astonishingly less popular than her senile superior. Nikki Haley is polling at about 2%. And those 2%, they're drunk. No one wants either one of them to be president. They are both hoping to make up for their unpopularity with the sheer intensity of their wanting it for themselves. Really, policy is secondary for both. Like liberalism was for Kamala, conservatism is the fake hobby horse Nikki hopes to use to ride into DC and a gig as vice president before taking the big step into the Oval Office down the road. But there's really no evidence she actually believes in conservatism as we understand it in 2023. It's a consultant-driven act, resurrected from 2003. She wilted in front of the SJWs when she could have told them to pound sand. Lastly, she's awkwardly hawkish in some sort of twisted simulation of what she thinks Republicans should be. She has shown none of the contempt for the establishment that Trump has, nor has she built a track record of owning the libtards as Ron DeSantis has. But policy is really besides the point for her. You see, she just wants to be president someday, like her twin bestie, Kamala. And we really need to stop them both. I will be posting a Too Spicy for YouTube video over on Rumble and Bitchute sometime around midnight tonight. I think I'll have it wrapped up by then anyways. The link will be placed in the description box of this video, so if you're not on Rumble or familiar with it, maybe come back tomorrow to this video, look through the description box, find the link, yada yada. The topic is, well, let's say, the DeSantis is Trump without the baggage crowd is in for a rude awakening. Hope to see you there. Most of this came by way of town hall. If you liked it, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment down below. There's a PayPal link in the description box, so please put $1 in the bucket on the way out the door. I'd like to thank everyone for all your donations. They're much needed and much appreciated. Now, with all that being said, we'll see you next time.
Come on, move. Move. Easy, easy.